Within a few weeks, we'll finally have our hands on the PlayStation 5, and as that day approaches, our excitement is hitting peak levels. There's plenty that we've already talked about when it comes to the PlayStation 5, but as you'd expect from a next-gen console that's launching imminently, there's a lot more to talk about still. Here, we'll be going over 15 more details that you should know about the PlayStation 5. What's in the box? When you purchase the PlayStation 5, what exactly will you get for your money? Well, the console, of course, but the console will also come preloaded with Astro's Playroom. On top of the console, the box will also have an HDMI cable, the console's power cord, a DualSense controller, a USB cable for charging the controller, and a stand on which to keep your PlayStation 5. Connectivity. As far as connectivity is concerned, the PlayStation 5 is looking like a pretty future-proof machine. Sony have confirmed that the console will support Wi-Fi 6, which would make it completely up to date, with a max download speed of 9.6 GB per second, as opposed to the 3.5 GB of the PlayStation 4 Pro and the 300 MB per second of the base PS4. Meanwhile, the console also supports Bluetooth 5.1. Ports. So what about the ports? You can expect plenty of those on this machine. Other than its power socket and an Ethernet port, the PS5 will also have 4 USB ports. One will be a high-speed USB Type-A port, 2 will be super-speed USB Type-A ports, and 1 will be a super-speed USB Type-C port. 2021 first-party lineup. With Spider-Man Miles Morales, Demon's Souls, Destruction All-Stars, and Sackboy, the PS5 is already starting off on a strong foot in terms of first-party support. In 2021, it looks like things will get even better. Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart, Horizon Forbidden West, and God of War sequel are all confirmed as 2021 releases, while a recent report suggested that Returnal might also be targeting 2021. Barring any delays, next year might prove to be one of Sony's most prolific years yet. Orientation. The PS5 is a chunky boy, which is a bit of an understatement. It's easily one of the biggest home consoles ever made, and even exceeds the Xbox Series X's size, which is no small console either. Thankfully, you'll at least have the freedom to choose how you want to place it, if you can find the space for it. Thanks to the base that comes with every PlayStation 5, the console can be placed both horizontally and vertically. Power consumption. The PS5 will be drawing a lot of power, which isn't surprising considering how impressive its innards are. The PS5 will have a power draw of 350 watts, while the PS5 Digital Edition will have a power draw of 340 watts. That's more than twice as much as the PS4 Pro, which had a max power draw of 165 watts, or the base PS4, which had a max power draw of 150 watts. Cross-gen saves. Cross-gen saves is an area where the PS5 seems to be stumbling, especially these last few days. While there's no blanket rule on whether or not they will work, there's actually quite a bit of confusion regarding that, several games have already been confirmed to not be supporting cross-saves. These include the likes of Yakuza Like a Dragon, Dirt 5, and Maneater. Cross-gen voice chat. Recently, a report emerged through the web-based PlayStation Store, which showed several messages and error prompts that may have clued us into features that the PS5 will have. One of these seems to be the inclusion of voice chat and messaging across the PlayStation 4 and PS5. Whether that will be just on a system level or apply to all games in general remains to be seen, but it goes without saying that if it's on a system level, games with cross-gen multiplayer will probably have cross-gen voice chat as well. It's worth noting that this information is coming from a report and hasn't yet been officially confirmed by Sony, so things may or may not change. Game sharing. It seems like game sharing will work the same on PS5 as it does on the PS4. Coming from the same aforementioned report, messages from the PS Store indicates that users will be able to set a PSN account as their primary on a PS5, following which all other accounts on that console will be able to access the primary account's content and subscriptions. Again, Sony haven't officially confirmed this yet, so do keep that in mind. Backward compatibility. Sony might not be emphasizing backward compatibility as much as Microsoft, but they aren't completely ignoring it either. The PS5 will be backward compatible with the PS4's library, with Sony saying that 99% of PS4 games will be playable on the PS5 at launch. It's also been confirmed that select titles will benefit from boosted frame rates. PS1, PS2, and PS3 games will not be playable on the PlayStation 5, but something's better than nothing. DualSense'S battery. Sony haven't given us an exact number when it comes to what the DualSense battery life will be, but we do know what its battery capacity is. At 1,560 milliamps, it's almost double the capacity the DualShock 4 launched with at 800 milliamps, though its later models had a capacity of 1,000 milliamps. This doesn't necessarily mean that the DualSense will have twice as much battery life as the DualShock 4. Thanks to its haptic feedback and adaptive triggers, it'll probably draw a lot more power. But we can hopefully look forward to a longer-lasting battery nonetheless. SSD expansions. The PS5 will come with an internal 825GB SSD, but if you end up needing more space, you will, of course, have the option to expand with external storage alternatives. Thankfully, Sony have confirmed that off-the-shelf NVMe SSDs can be used with the PlayStation 5, as long as they're certified. Basically, if you can find an SSD that's fast enough, you can use it. That won't be easy or cheap, of course, especially at first, seeing as the PlayStation 5's SSD is ridiculously fast. But hopefully it won't take too long for more off-the-shelf SSD options to become available. PS Plus Collection. It may not be Game Pass, but it's something. The PlayStation Plus Collection is a curated collection of PlayStation 4 games that PS Plus subscribers will be able to play on the PS5 right off the bat for no extra cost. The list of games that will be included in this collection is quite impressive as well, including the likes of The Last of Us Remastered, Persona 5, Resident Evil 7, Batman Arkham Knight, Monster Hunter World, and more. Spider-Man. The PS5 is releasing with a solid lineup, especially from a first-party perspective, but the one game that's going to attract more players than any other is Marvel's Spider-Man Miles Morales. Though it is a cross-gen release, with support for ray tracing, a 60fps performance mode, nearly instantaneous loading times, and more, it is primed to leverage the PS5's hardware quite well. You will also have the option to purchase the Ultimate Edition, which will come with a download code for Marvel's Spider-Man Remastered, which isn't cross-gen. The remaster will be exclusive to the PlayStation 5, and it's looking like a pretty impressive remaster, featuring ray tracing, other visual enhancements, quicker load times, a 60fps mode, more photo mode features, new suits, new trophies, and even a completely new facial and character model for Peter Parker. Demon's Souls. Of course, Marvel's Spider-Man Miles Morales isn't the only big first-party exclusive launching with the PlayStation 5. Bluepoint Games' Demon's Souls remake is also a launch title, and unlike Spidey, it's exclusive to the PlayStation 5. And Demon's Souls 2 will have performance and visual modes. As their names suggest, the 4K modes and high frame rate modes will prioritize 4K visuals and better performance respectively. Presumably, the 4K mode will target a frame rate of 30 FPS. Meanwhile, a recent Digital Foundry analysis of the game's gameplay trailer revealed that it was running at 1440p at 60 FPS. One would assume that that's the high frame rate mode. And that about does it for this video. If you enjoyed what you watched and want to see more from Gaming Bolt, you can always hit that subscribe button and turn on the bell icon next to it. That way you will never miss any of our videos.